Yo, 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 it's your boy, Diego Chino, back at it again. And I just made a little compilation of the best stories on the channel, and hopefully you like this one. Don't forget, on your way out, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.
Streamers are a different breed of content creators, and in that arena, it is actually super tough to make a name for yourself. Dr. Disrespect is one of them. He is an American live streamer famously known for playing Battle Royale games online such as Apex Legends, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite Battle Royale, H1Z1, and PUBG Battleground.
This guy's fucking holy shit! Do you see this fucking stupid ass animation?
Throughout the years, Dr. Disrespect became very popular in the live streaming world, but throughout all of these years, some pretty rocky allegations came by. In 2020, Dr. Disrespect got banned from Twitch out of nowhere for undisclosed reasons, only a few days after signing a contract with them actually. And while everybody was still in shock about this announcement, no one actually understood why this actually happened. So then he returned a little bit later to YouTube, and his fame only grew bigger, to the point where in 2024 he actually has more than 4.6 million subscribers on the platform of YouTube. All of that until a very fateful day in 2024 where everything stopped for Dr. Disrespect, and where you have an actual employee or ex-employee of Twitch that came out and said what he had to say. And what he had to say was pretty terrible, and no one would have guessed what he was about to say. And that's why for you here today, I'm gonna present to you all the details that happened into Dr. Disrespect's career. Welcome to the rise and fall of Dr. Disrespect. Playing a game is a part of everybody's life. Everybody plays games. And in the case of Mr. Disrespect today, he was actually very good at it, and he showed millions and millions of people around the world how good he was at playing video games, while commenting on them sometimes. Dr. Disrespect was a very respected name in the live streaming world. He motivated and encouraged people to reach their full potential while playing. And throughout the years, everything was going great for Dr. Disrespect, until some allegations came through from a former Twitch employee saying some pretty terrible bad things about Dr. Disrespect. And before we dive into his downfall, let's look at Dr. Disrespect's story before. Dr. Disrespect in 2005 obtained a degree in business, specializing in marketing management from the California State Polytechnic University, Pomona, where he also played NCAA Division II. At the same time, while in college, he started playing Halo Combat Evolved and Halo 2 under the name Diarrhea Panic. And from that, he started to get some recognition in the Halo community because of his trash talking skills in this game. On January 2010, he published his first YouTube video on the Dr. Disrespect channel, which was a mix of a bunch of clips of him trash talking over footage of gameplay with real life footage of him in costume as Dr. Disrespect. He got that idea because it represents in a way a game character in real life, and he actually bought the wig, the mustache, and the glasses from a regular costume shop. With that, he adds a red or black long sleeved shirt and a red or black tactical vest. His mustache has nicknames. They go by Slick Daddy and the Poisonous Ethiopian Caterpillar. Very funny, but kinda weird at the same time if you ask me. He is portrayed in the community as very provocative with a very serious and dark tone. His supporters and fandom are said to be part of the Champions Club.
What's happening? Are you already mad?
No.
Okay. I thought you were mad.
Nope. Not today. It's nothing but positivity.
Is that what you want to do?
Oh, he's lost it.
So in general, he is more seen as an entertainer more than a professional gamer. And ESPN even describes him as the WWE character in the gaming world. And with that combination of a character and commenting on gamers and games in general, that was the perfect recipe for him at the time to win a whole lot of viewership in a way, which led him to become a partner creator with Machinima, which was a very popular YouTube channel at the time. Like, I'm hoping that this video will become popular and that you will like and subscribe to the channel when you're done watching the video. That would make my day. Oh, and don't forget, comment down below your opinion on Dr. Disrespect when I'm done with my whole expose. Thank you. Now back to the video. In 2011, he announced that he was going to be the community manager of Sledgehammer Games, which also included level designing for the 2014 game Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. But at the end of 2015, he decided to quit to focus mainly on his live streaming career.
I don't know. I'm in the 2-ton.
I got
Dropping
1,400
back.
damage for 1 kill. 14, I'll repeat, 14.
Fucking 100 damage!
Buddy. Right.
Crazy.
This fucking game is trash!
Dr. Disrespect likes to jump from game to game, so in 2016 he started gaining massive following from playing battle royale games such as H1Z1, then PUBG Battlegrounds, then Call of Duty's Black Ops 4 Blackout mode, and with all of that success reaching a total of 338,000 recurrent viewers, he started to make different sponsorships left and right with Gillette, Asus, Rocket, and Game Fuel, following with partnerships with a creative artist agency in 2019. But then, all the way at the top, his empire started to actually crumble. In 2017, he confesses on a live stream that he cheated on his wife and he stopped streaming for a few months before coming back in February 2018. And just FYI, he's been married since June 2008. And he also has a daughter with his wife, Mrs. Assassin.
As you guys know, I have a beautiful family and a wife and kid. And I want to be transparent that I've been unfaithful. And I'm probably going to be taking some time away, time off.
Then on June 2019, Dr. Disrespect's Twitch channel was suspended as he was live streaming while attending the 2019 edition of the Electronic Entertainment Expo in Los Angeles. Dr. Disrespect and his cameraman went into a public restroom at the venue in violation of Twitch's privacy rules. The Entertainment Software Association revoked his pass and banned him from the event. Pretty terrible, you tell me. And even though all the drama, Dr. Disrespect came out victorious after all this situation, and he got his Twitch channel back on June 25th at the same time. Then a year later, he actually signs a contract with Twitch on March 2020, but then weirdly in June 26, he gets actually banned from the Twitch platform for no reason whatsoever.
Why did you get banned? Guess what? I want you to look me in my eyes when I say this. Okay? You're not looking me in my eyes. Hold on. I really want you to look me in my eyes. Okay? I really want you to look me in my eyes when I say this. We still have no idea
And from Twitch's side, they said that they actually take appropriate actions when they have evidence that a streamer has done something wrong and has acted in violation of their guidelines. And these guidelines apply to all the streamers. You can be all the way up there and you can be all the way down there. The same rules will apply to everybody. And the same day, Discord also came out and said that they also removed Dr. Disrespect from their sponsorship, saying that he actually violated the code of conduct. And following all of these informations, Dr. Disrespect comes out and says he doesn't know why he actually got banned from all of these social platforms, but at the same time he's saying that his contracts are still okay and good to go. And at the same time he's also saying that he's actually gonna return to streaming only for YouTube right now. But then in August 2021, he publicly stated that he now knows why, and he's actually trying to sue Twitch.
Breaking news, Dr. Suspect says he knows the reason for his Twitch ban and is planning to sue Twitch over it.
So in a weird way, you can see that he's trying to keep face with the public, trying to go against Twitch, or now that he actually knows what Twitch did to him, so it feels like it's not his problem, but it's actually Twitch's problem against him. So that's why he wants to counter back and sue them right now. Crazy, right? In March 2022, Twitch and Dr. Disrespect both said that they resolved the problem, with neither parties admitting to doing anything wrong. At the same time, Dr. Disrespect said that he will not be returning to Twitch, and even said later that Twitch costed him a lot of big deals, a lot of sponsorships, such as with Nike and Oakley. And throughout all of this, nothing was actually released to the public, and no one actually knew in the public what actually happened in the whole situation. Everybody got left in the complete dark, and no one knows why. On May 29, 2024, he claims that there was a 10 million annual offer to stream on the streaming platform called Kick. And if you don't know Kick is just kind of like Twitch, but you can do a lot more crazy things over there. But apparently Dr. Disrespect said no to the offer, and he said that he wouldn't budge for anything less than $50 million. But then, on the fateful day of June 21st, 2024, a former director of strategic partnership called Cody Connors tweeted he got banned because he got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at the TwitchCon. After that, another employee also came to confirm the story. Dr. Disrespect, on the other hand, on June 22nd, 2024, responded, and I quote, "Listen, I am obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can since this is the fucking internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All of this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal, no wrongdoing was found, and I was paid." Now, it's just kind of weird the way he responded to those allegations. And if you were not guilty of any wrongdoing whatsoever, you wouldn't be responding this kind of way, you know? It's kind of weird. And June 2024, he was doing an Elden Ring live stream when suddenly he ended by announcing that he was burnt out and considered leaving the business for some time.
You know how we run things here.
At the same time, Midnight Society, the game development studio he co-founded, released a statement stating that after speaking with both parties, they terminated Dr. Disrespect immediately. Oh, and he lost his partnerships with Turtle Beach too. Following that, other sources also confirmed the allegations, and even Discord came out and said that they had already taken actions against Dr. Disrespect in 2020 after receiving a report from an unidentified source. Then on June 25th, a fatality happened. Dr. Disrespect came out and put out a statement saying that yes, he did send private messages to a minor using Twitch's Whispers messaging in 2017, and he even stated that the messages sometimes ease too much in the inappropriate direction. Many more sources such as the Rolling Stone came out and said that at the same time that after investigating with former employees that knew about the situation, everything and everybody says that Dr. Disrespect was texting a minor while he knew about the facts. So that did not stop him, just like all of his partnerships that started to actually ghost him after all of this, totally leaving his ass, and with YouTube as well getting his account suspended and demonetized for real and indefinitely. And just like that, he gets also dropped from High Res Studios, followed by Bright Star Studios and NBA 2K. And after this situation, Dr. Disrespect came out and said that he's actually gonna take a break for a while, and that is the best. But surprisingly, a few days ago, he actually came out with a new tweet with a weird picture portraying him playing chess while everybody else is playing craps. I am sorry, but actually coming out and saying that everything that you did was actually true and admitting to the facts and saying that you're actually playing chess instead of other people playing craps, and above all, you act like you don't care at all in this whole situation by first lying in the beginning and saying that no wrongdoing was made. I am sorry, but that is totally a wrong behavior to be having as a human being, not just as a gamer, because as a gamer is something, but this feels like he's trying to play everybody like a master playing everybody in his little game. And just for that, Dr. Disrespect lost a fan right here, and I'm probably guessing that he lost many more fans around the world. And that is why I believe that Dr. Disrespect's reputation and career are actually done for. And many people that were watching him came to the conclusion that he's actually not even worth the time anymore. And on that note, this was the rise and fall of Dr. Disrespect.
So why did you want to sit down today? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, in 2018, there were some complaints about me and an article about me, and at that moment, I just thought, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to pause. Did not seem like the right time to say anything. There were people that were upset with me, and I needed to listen.
Welcome into this beautiful world where everything is going great, everything is going good, and nobody's doing nothing too shady. Psych.
That's suspicious.
Welcome to reality, where not everything is roses and daisies. And today we're looking into James Franco's case. Welcome everybody to the Guccino's Bazaar, and I am your host, Guccino. How you doing?
How you doing?
Are you ready for this one? It's going to be epic! And before we dive right in the middle of the storm, let's have a quick look at the rise and fame of Mr. James Franco and all of his achievements. James Franco is an American actor and filmmaker born in 1978. His very first apparition was on a television commercial for Pizza Hut, featuring an Elvis Presley. That, with multiple apparitions as a guest in many shows, got him a leading role in the NBC television series Freaks and Geeks. From there, he went on to make Whatever It Takes in 2000 and the biographical film James Dean in 2001. And that got him a Golden Globe Award. With this new fame, Franco found out that he could start playing in bigger sets, bigger movies, bigger shows, bigger money, and his face was literally everywhere. Many products that you might think of, for example, like Gucci. So in 2002, he appears in Sunny, City by the Sea, and of course you were waiting for it, in the superhero movie Spider-Man in the role of the hero's best friend and the villain's son, Harry Osborn. This movie was such a success, it grossed $822 million worldwide. Guess what happened? They had to make a second one. So that was followed by the Spider-Man, the second one in 2004, and this one did a little bit less, but still made $783 million worldwide. And with that comes the third one, Spider-Man the third, in 2007, and worldwide it did $891 million. He also appeared in other movies during those years like The Ape, The Great Raid, Annapolis, Tristan and Isolde, Flyboys, The Wicker Man, The Holiday, Knocked Up, and Good Time Max. And during those years, Franco started to volunteer at the Art of the Elysium charity and has taught film classes at numerous schools. Then, in 2008, he appears in one of my favorite movies ever, Pineapple Express, with his best bud, Seth Rogen. And that got him a second Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy, and awarded High Times Magazine Stoner of the Year. With that, he also wins the Independent Spirit Award for the Best Supporting Actor in the same year. Hey, just making sure you subscribe and hit that like button. Do it! He made an appearance in SNL in 2008, and in general, after all of this fame and experience in the industry, he became a world-class actor. And I classify his movies and TV shows into two categories, the good ones and then the super good ones. And in the first category, he appeared in movies and TV shows such as 30 Rock, Date Night, Howl, The Minute to Win It, The Green Hornet, The Letter, About Cherry, The Night Stalker, The Child of God, I Am Michael, The True Story, 11/22/63, The Deuce, King Cobra, and Alien Covenant. Then, for the really good ones, we got Milk in 2008, Eat, Pray, Love, 127 Hours, where he wins an Independent Spirit Award for that one too. Then he acted in The Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Oz the Great and Powerful, This Is the End, The Spring Breakers, The Interview, which played a role in the world diplomatic relations between the United States and North Korea. Then you also got Why Him, Sausage Party, and The Disaster Artist, that got him a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor Motion Picture Musical or Comedy in 2017. But throughout all of his success, in 2014, a 17-year-old girl came out with some screenshots of alleged messages between her and Franco when she was still 17 on Instagram. The messages showed that Franco, then aged 35, tried to meet her in a hotel room even after she told him that she was 17 years old. And also he sent multiple photos of him to prove his identity. Franco admitted on Live with Kelly and Michael that he had written the messages. Though the actions were illegal as the age of consent in New York is 17, he was subject of media backlash due to the wide age gap. He initially responded to the scandal by tweeting, "I hope the parents keep their teens away from me. Thank you."
I mean, I guess, I'm embarrassed, and I guess I'm just a model of, how social media is tricky. It's a way people meet each other today. But what I've learned, I guess just because I'm new to it, it's like you don't know who's on the other end. You meet somebody in person, and you get a feel for them, but you don't know who you're talking to. And, so I use bad judgment, and I learned my lesson. But unfortunately, in my position, I have a very good life, but not only do I have to go through the embarrassing kind of rituals of meeting someone, sometimes if I do that, then it gets, published for the world. So now, it's like doubly embarrassing.
At the end of 2017, Franco, at 40 years old, says he's going to slow down to focus more on himself. Then, during the 2018 Golden Globe Awards, James Franco wore a Time's Up pin in solidarity with the Me Too movement to protest sexual harassment against women. His pin drew so much critique on social media from another actress by the name of Ali Sherry, who hinted that she quit acting because of James Franco. Another former girlfriend by the name of Violet Paley also alleged that he once forced her while they were dating to perform in a car, if you know what I mean. Then on 2018, the New York Times canceled a planned event with Franco. Literally the next day after getting canceled, he went on the Late Tonight with Stephen Colbert and said that the accusations made towards him were not totally accurate.
I have no idea what I did to Ali Sheedy. I directed her in a play off Broadway. I had nothing but a great time with her. Total respect for her. I have no idea why she was upset. She took the tweet down. I don't know. I can't speak for her. I don't know.
And the next day to that, the Los Angeles Times reported that 5 women were accusing Franco of inappropriate exploitative behavior during the period where Franco was serving as their acting teacher or mentor. One former student even stipulated that Franco would make everybody think that there were possibilities of work in the acting department in the future for them, and that's why they had to go through everything that they are actually going through with him. And then another alleged student said that Franco had weird kind of classes where he performed and they performed, if you know what I mean, in a scene to kind of replicate what's going on in the movie industry, for example, in some really intimate kind of scenes, if you know what I mean. But the charges were disputed then by his lawyer. So during the same year, Buzzy Phillips also came out and said that Franco violently shoved her to the ground while on the set of Freaks and Geeks. And on 2019, 2 former students filed a lawsuit against him and his partners. According to the New York Times, the complaint alleged that the program was little more than a scheme to provide him and his male collaborators with a pool of young female performers that they could take advantage of. The case claimed that pupils were subjected to exploitation, audition, and film shoots, and had to sign away their rights to the recordings. On February 2021, it was reported that the lawsuit was settled and that according to the documents filed on February 11th, both students had agreed to drop their individual claims and the deal was submitted for preliminary court approval. They were then settled to Franco paying $2.2 million to resolve 2 different legal disputes. One by the 2 women who cited sexual exploitation, who received $894,000, and another class action plaint by approximately 1,500 people, Studio 4 students who maintain that they were defrauded. And in February 2021, actress Charlene Wee was on the set of The Disaster Artist with Franco, and after she discovered all of the allegations, she tried to quit the movie, but the filmmakers came to her with a bigger role offer. We, at that point, viewed this entanglement as an attempted bribe, and a month later, Rogan commented and expressed doubts that he would ever work with Franco again. Then, in the same year, in December, Franco gave his first interview in 4 years, where he appeared on an episode of the Jess Cagle podcast. He finally admits to having relationships with some of his students and that he has been in treatment since 2016. However, he did not address other forms of sexual harassment. Then in August 2022, Franco was cast as Fidel Castro in Alina in Cuba, a casting decision that was supported by Fidel Castro's daughter. In conclusion, James Franco is a great actor, performer, entertainer, and all that you want, and his name is forever located at 6838 Hollywood Boulevard, where his star resides on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But his deviances kept him in a dark place through a lot of years. He caused serious trauma to people in the same industry as him, and in the eyes of the law, he already paid for his mistakes. He made such a big appearance and had such a big influence in the entertainment industry, and his achievements were so immense. People started to stick his image to the actual person, and that made his downfall even deeper. And after a long time of disappearance from the screen, I'll probably guess that he's gonna be back on the screens in a little bit now that everything is settled, and it's all gonna be up to the viewers to actually grow from whatever they feel about this actor in particular. This was a heavy video to make, huh? But super interesting, super interesting, because for the longest time I've always asked myself, what happened to James Franco? I knew him from Spider-Man, from other movies in general, but other than that, like for a few years we were like, yeah, what actually happened to the guy? And now I guess we know, sadly.
Internet is a double-edged sword. It can be in your advantage when you want to, but then as soon as you turn around, it can easily slice you up and bite you in the ass. Being a sensation on the web is pretty much a good thing, but sometimes it can all blow up by the same person. And in this case, we're going to be looking at the rise and fall of the most famous butcher on the internet, and I'm talking about Salt Bae. From this clip right here. From here, the meme was born, and his name went from Nusret to Salt Bae. That fame, everybody in the whole goddamn world was running to his restaurants everywhere. Why? Just to be a part of the fame. And that led the famous butcher to a lot of fame and money, specifically. Money that helped him branch his restaurant and open up a whole bunch of Nusrets all over the globe, like in Greece, United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, and the United States. And right at his peak, everybody started to discover the dark side in a way of Salt Bae. The overpricing videos every week, so tune in and hopefully I see you in the comment section. Yeah. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Nusret was born in Pasali in Turkey into a Kurdish family. His father, Faik, was a mine worker, and right at the age of 11, Nusret had to quit school to help his family financially. And that's when he started as an apprentice butcher at the age of 12 years old in Istanbul. And after a few years, Nusret wanted to expand his horizons and go and discover other stuff, other professions in a way. And that's when he started actually traveling to different countries between 2007 and 2010. He used to travel and ask local shops and local restaurants if he can work for them for free in order to gain experience as a cook and a restaurateur. And after a few years of experience and in training in different places and in different restaurants, Nusret was ready, and he was ready to come back to Turkey. And when he did, he came back strong with a big palette of knowledge. He opened up his first restaurant in Istanbul in 2010, and that restaurant had a lot of hype around it. He was making good money while the menu was decent and pretty cheap. A bunch of food critics praised him for how great the food is, how big the quantities were, and how much the people loved that place because it was so inexpensive. And after making that little success in Turkey, now is the time to expand. Now is the time to go all over the places, all over the countries. And that's when he decided to land in Dubai in 2014. Fancy. And for a few years, his restaurants were making it. They were pretty successful, but not to that level, you know. And then in 2017, this happens. Actually sprinkles the salt on top of the steak, not just, you know, throw it like that. All of that while he's wearing just a white t-shirt and black sunglasses. And that mix made him famous, like 16 million famous. Only in the first 24 hours. And as everybody was watching and everybody in the comment section, the name Salt Bae was born. And at that point, Salt Bae knew international fame. People from all around the world were flying to his restaurants to test his dishes. All over the world. Everybody, influencers, regular people, everybody.
Damn!
And Salt Bae's reputation is only growing bigger and bigger. And with more and more and more influence, Salt Bae actually started to become a brand name that big, which everybody knows about, to the point where he started jacking up the prices. Oh yeah, he did. But controversy is always following Salt Bae, like a dark shadow that's kind of always following his success everywhere he goes. In 2017, Salt Bae was criticized for a picture he took in 2016, in which he posed in front and mimicked a picture of former President Fidel Castro of Cuba. Followed by this controversy, in 2018, Czech internet influencer Tinus Tresinova became a victim of a failed fire show in the Nusret steakhouse in Istanbul, resulting in 35 of his whole body burned, and several other guests also faced less serious body burns. During the same time, US Senator Marco Rubio and the Miami City Council criticized Salt Bae because the president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, was allowed to have a meal at his restaurant in Istanbul. Followed that news, some reviews in 2018 on his New York City steakhouse, and the reviews were pretty negative. The New York Post called the restaurant public ripoff #1, followed with JQ saying that the steaks mundane and the hamburgers were overcooked. Other critics also said that the meals were always overpriced, always overcooked, and always oversalted, and the meat was tough with a bunch of fat on them, so you actually don't get that much meat from what you order. And apparently, from the legends and myths I've been hearing about, if you actually finish up one of your meals over there, it's actually a great success over your own body and mouth specifically. Even more than that, in November 2019, 4 employees accused Salt Bae of getting all the shares of the tips, and they alleged that they were fired from his New York restaurant when they tried to ask questions about the tips. On top of that, they said, and I quote, that working for him, it feels like at any time your time can come up and you can easily be replaced. A strong sense of discomfort and coldness is present in the restaurant when the owner is there to hustle them, which led to the next situation. A trial was set to take place, but at the end, Salt Bae and the 4 ex-employees found a settlement and he had to pay them $230,000. And from his side, This is what he had to say about the whole situation.
I was not satisfied with the performance of the 4 employees. Since they were fired, they acted with the feeling of, look what we're gonna do to you, and put forward these allegations.
Did you like my imitation right there? All this situation though is pretty terrible, and it still doesn't end there. In September 2020, his Boston restaurant was ordered to be shut down by public health officials right a few days after it opened up due to violations of a virus. And then it reopened later that year. It was even reported at that time in 2021, the British media went crazy over a meal that costed £37,000 in one of his UK restaurants. Crazy, but it happened. And then, for his most epic and scrutinizing moments, FIFA 2022 at the World Cup. At the final match between Argentina and France, the match was going on. Everything was going crazy. The hype was real throughout all the match. And as soon as Argentina actually won the World Cup in 2022, everybody, especially the Argentinian team and the Argentinian officials, were on the field actually celebrating because they're actually the winners and they are allowed to do that, especially since they got rewarded with medals and the trophy of the World Cup. That's something that they were totally allowed to do. But then, guess who showed up out of nowhere? Mr. Salt Bay, the butcher of internet, like he's a part of a team or something. Salt Bay is Turkish. The team that won the World Cup is Argentinian. He had absolutely nothing to do in that field at that moment, and it was kind of like the biggest disrespect that you could do to the FIFA at that point and to the Argentinian country. He was disturbing players. He was taking pictures with everybody and trying to take pictures with everybody. Even with Messi, he was trying to kind of like, you know, push him in a weird, disturbing way just to kind of have that picture. But everybody throughout the videos could see how cringy that moment was and how Messi was looking at him like, what the hell are you actually doing in here? Oh, and he was also handling the trophy and biting the trophy and raising the trophy like way more than any other players on the field at that point. And all of that is strictly reserved to the team that won, so Argentina, and the head of state of that country, so the Argentinian head of state. On that clip, you can even see the discomfort of the Argentinian team all over, and Messi is totally disgusted by him in this picture. The way Salt Bay was trying to push and manipulate the situation to his advantage, everybody could see how much of an asshole he was at that time. And right at that point, everybody started to express their bad opinions online about Salt Bay, and even the FIFA team and the Argentinian head of state were completely pissed about Salt Bay. So the next day, he gets banned from the FIFA forever. And due to that, you know what he does? He actually posts a picture, so Salt Bay and Messi, and saying on the description, oh yeah, we were friends. He actually used to come to the restaurant or whatever, but it's not actually one encounter with Messi, the Argentinian captain, that's gonna make you, or that's gonna allow you to go on the field and go crazy, while it's kind of like a memorable moment for the Argentinian team, not for you. And due to him getting banned, FIFA actually launched a whole investigation into Salt Bay at the same time. And in the same package, he also got banned from the US Open and the Rolling Loud Music Festival forever. And through all of this situation, this is what he had to say in this interview right here. No matter the success that Nusret had in the past, he will not have anymore. Because now is the moment where he's actually starting to lose his followers or his subscribers in a way, to the point where his Manhattan Burger Bar actually closed in 2023, only 3 years after it opened actually, and that was for various reasons. And in 2024, it was reported that Salt Bay's London restaurant was turning off the heating of the whole restaurant with the customers in it, so that the restaurant raises more profits out of taxes, which is pretty shameful and crazy in his position. I mean, that's nuts. At the end, we can say that Nusret built a whole empire, built schools for his hometown of Erzurum, built libraries, a guest house, a mosque, an English education, and a computer laboratory. He might have known huge success in the past, but today everybody can see through Salt Bay's scheme. The overpricing of his menu, the food being overcooked or not well done, the controversies and the allegations on him because he was too greedy, the fact that he never actually responds to the allegations because he is too manly for that, well, all of that mixed with a super dimensional ego, that is what's gonna lead eventually to the downfall of Salt Bay.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
Yo, what up my sexy people? How you doing?
How you doing?
Today we are talking about one of the most beloved character in all of Hollywood. I call Shia LaBeouf.
Hey, Shia.
Hey, you know what I was thinking? Our names rhyme.
Oh, that's right, they do. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, me neither.
And from this we are also going to see what led to him going down. Stay tuned. We are going to see exactly and precisely why his career took a turn for the worst. I hope you all ready for this one, and before we start, let us start with the origin story of Shia LaBeouf. Shia is born in Los Angeles, California. He is the only child of visual artist, jewelry designer, and dancer Shayna Said and professional clown Jeffrey LaBeouf. And growing up, he was raised around both religions, Christians and Jewish. His parents, he considers, were a bit weird because he considered them as hippies, but he loved them and they loved him, and that's all that mattered to him. But shortly after that, Shia's parents actually divorced due to financial problems, and from there he went on to live with his mother. And at some point, they were so poor and they had so many issues financially that even the uncle of Shia was considering adopting him just to keep him out of all of that misery. Shia even stated that during his childhood, his father was on drugs and he was placed on rehabilitation for heroin addiction. That kept the mom holding the fort while the dad was getting treated. And during the period when his father was in rehab, Shia was saying that during a period when he was living with his mom, around the age of 10, he apparently overheard somebody, his mom, in the house by a stranger. And that kinda destroyed him, but he still moved on. Already at a young age, he was very good at dealing with his parents. He used to mimic his clown father to the perfection, and that's where the talent started. And prior to his career in television, he used to practice funny jokes and skits all around his friends, which he always considered as an escape to his very hostile environment at the house. And due to that, he wanted to actually get out of there. Get out and make money and be famous maybe. So at a very young age, he already started to work on his craft and work on his comedy, just as a way of getting out of there. And she even stated later on that he originally became an actor just because he was broke and everybody around him was broke. At the age of 10, he started performing stand-up comedy at the Improv, as he described his style of comedy as super dirty, and his material is of a 50-year-old mouth on a 10-year-old kid, which I have to totally admit, it is funny.
Right, so you decided I can't do the modeling thing. I just got to make it on my personality, my acting chops.
Yeah, I mean, I started doing stand-up, and then I got an agent through the Yellow Pages, and that's how my story started.
And little FYI, he found an agent throughout the Yellow Pages, so he calls him and he pretends to be his own manager to Shia himself. And guess what happened? He got him. He took him. So no excuses. Even a 10-year-old was capable of doing it. You can too. And after a few months of performances, he gets a little reputation and starts to get some notoriety. And that's when he gets casted first in The Christmas Path and then for the lead role playing as Louis Stevens on Disney Channel.
Yeah, Tom, your mom told me to... Ow, Tom! You almost grazed my lip! I'm going in.
Happy Mountain, the big old rock of fun! Assume the position.
That role was crazy. And I, myself, personally grew up watching Disney, and especially that show with even Stevens going crazy on every episode.
Ah! It looks like you're smuggling meatballs from the cafeteria. Look, yearbook photos here. Ready? Louis, don't rub it in. Oh, it's my picture.
Swear to God, that kid is crazy. Okay. And that even earned him a Daytime Emmy Award. He basically grew up making the show, and being casted for it, he says, was the best thing that happened to him. Like, the best thing that can happen to me is you liking and subscribing to the channel and commenting down below when you're done watching the video. I would appreciate that.
W's in the shot.
And while filming around the age of 12, he goes on to live with his dad that was back from rehab, and he served him as an on-set guardian while filming for Even Stevens. And while filming, guess what? He used to go with his dad sometimes to the Alcoholics Anonymous. Ain't that some shit? His father even pointed a gun at some point to his head, to Shia's head, but thank God nothing happened from it. And up until today, Shia is still stating that he still loves and supports his parents, even through everything that happened.
Hey, Mia, you better hide your baby oil. I'm just playing. You better hide that big-ass forehead. I was just joking.
And growing up, he attended the 32nd Street Visual and Performing Arts Magnet in Los Angeles and Alexander Hamilton High School, although he received most of his education from tutors. For the next few years, he appeared in Holes, Constantine, A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints, and he provided his voice to Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind that I talked about in my Studio Ghibli story. Go check it out. He starred in Disturbia, hosted an episode of SNL in 2007 and 2008, then followed by a role in Transformers with Megan Fox.
Easy. You're not gonna get it started that way.
Well, I'm just getting ready. You know, I'm about 32% done with my restoration.
The movie was a box office success, and he followed right with a role in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. His next film was Eagle Eye, and follows up with a music video directorial for the American rapper Cage, I Never Knew You. And through this music experience, he met many other artists in the field and met Kid Cudi, which led him to make a short film in 2011 called Maniac, and another music video directorial for Cudie's song Marijuana, filmed at the 2010 Cannabis Cup. And followed by that, he appeared in the Wall Street Money Never Sleeps in 2010, and he came back in the sequel to Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And due to some injuries and accidents on the set, Shia had to leave to recover, but then came back before the end of the production period. And while the movie was a commercial success, the movie brought a lot of negative reviews, especially with Shia sharing nomination for the worst screenplay of 2009. But all of that didn't stop him from coming back for a third Transformers, Transformers Dark of the Moon, the third installment in the film series released in June 2011. And guess what again? Big flop. It received so many poor reviews, but then became the 10th film to make $1 billion, and that marked Shia's last appearance in one of the Transformers, which is pretty sad though. Compared to the new ones we get, they gonna suck. Little anecdote for the ladies, Shia LaBeouf was actually nude in the Icelandic band called Sigur Rós. Music video, Jogor Piano, followed by a song describing Shia LaBeouf as a murderous cannibal, which he pretty much loved actually, because he at the last of that performance, we could actually see Shia clapping. Then he gets fired from his Broadway debut in Lyle Kessler's play Orphans, but quickly gets up and stars in a new movie called The Company You Keep, followed by Nymphomaniac. And due to reasons not allowing me to talk about this movie because of YouTube's regulation, I cannot talk about that movie. You will understand. Moving on to his next project. While filming for Nymphomaniac in 2012, he meets the British actress Mia Goth, and in 2016 it appeared that they had married in a Las Vegas ceremony officiated by an Elvis impersonator.
Hey, welcome to Las Vegas.
2 days later, a local official said that the pair were not legally married, but instead a commitment ceremony was performed. Later that month, LaBeouf confirmed their nuptials on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Then in 2018, they announced their divorce. Pretty rocky, you tell me. While in 2013, Shia LaBeouf releases his short film HowardContour.com to the internet, and what followed were allegations of plagiarism, and where his creation was very similar to Justin Domino by Dan Cloves. Due to that, Shia came out and said that he did not intend to copy Cloves, but was instead inspired by him and got lost in the creative process, neglected to follow proper accreditation. And since they found plagiarism in that story, all of his fans started to dive in all of his stories, and they found way more. Oh, way more. And later, Shia even stated that he saw the copyright laws as too restrictive and that he did not allow for ideas to flow freely, followed by a description of his next project called Daniel Boring, which was very similar again to another comic by Cloves, and that got him a cease and desist letter by Cloves' attorney. He performed many high-profile performance art projects with some of his British artist friends to create I Am Sorry, Touch My Soul, Take Me Anywhere, and He Will Not Divide Us US from 2017 to 2021. His project I Am Sorry occupied actually a Los Angeles gallery for 6 days, wearing the paper bag and silently crying in front of visitors. But that in the end, he felt cared for however it came. It was beautiful. It blew him away, he says. However, one woman tried to sexual assault him, and luckily, his friends and collaborators came to the rescue as soon as they saw what was going on. And of course, now let's talk about his arrest in 2014. He was arrested at New York City's Studio 54 theater for disorderly conduct, harassment, and criminal trespass. He pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct, while the trespassing and harassment charges were dropped. Following that crazy story, his next project is a film with Brad Pitt called Fury, Then Man Down, American Honey, Borg vs. McEnroe.
Excuse me?
It wasn't on this side of the line, Mr.
How? The
McEnroe.
ball, the chalk flew up.
The ball has been ruled out.
Excuse me?
It was a good call. It was a bit of a scramble.
You can't be serious. You cannot be serious.
It was a
The
good
ball was on the
decision.
line. Chalk flew up all over, man. The chalk flew up.
In 2015, Shia appears in hashtag Introductions, a half-hour video comprising of a series of short monologues performed by LaBeouf in front of a green screen. One of the shots you might recognize is the "Just do it!"
Yeah, boy.
You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!
That meme was crazy in 2015, and it's still crazy up until today. And sometimes I even listen to it when I need motivations. Just do it! But yet again, Shia LaBeouf gets himself in trouble in 2017, and he gets himself arrested again, and this time in Savannah, Georgia at 4 o'clock in the morning. And that was for public intoxication, disorderly misconduct, and obstruction. Then he was found guilty on obstruction, but not on all of the other counts. So at least from it, he got 1 year of probation, and he had to pay $1,000 of fine. And at the same time, he had to seek a therapist to manage, just like they say, issues concerning anger due to substances. And with all of that excitement comes even rockier times. From 2018 to 2019, Shia was dating the musician FKA Twigs, and this woman then sued him in 2020 for sexual battery, assault, and infliction of emotional distress. The lawsuit also detailed allegations that he abused another ex-girlfriend called Caroline Falk. LaBeouf's response that he was very sorry to the people he hurt, but the lawsuit is still scheduled to proceed to trial in October 2024. Another woman by the name Margaret Qualley also came out and supported these allegations due to dating Shia LaBeouf between 2020 and 2021. He starred in The Peanut Butter Falcon, Honey Boy, The Tax Collector, Pieces of a Woman, and he also participated in the virtual reading of the comedy drama film Fast Times of Ridgemont High in 2020.
None of them are wearing shirts.
Yeah, but something happened to him. Just come on.
Just come. Can you just come on? All right? All right.
Talking on the phone.
Hey, but what's in this stuff you put in here? Does that cause brain damage?
Go away, Curtis.
You can't fix it.
I can fix every piece of this car. I can fix every piece of this car.
Yet again, he gets arrested in 2020 for misdemeanor battery and petty theft for an involvement that he got with a man in that same year.
How you doing? Good, how are you? Good. I got earplugs in, but I have a good one.
But in May 2021, the charges might be dropped if Shia completes a diversion program within the same year. In 2022, it was reported that Goth and Shia had reconciled and she was pregnant with their first child. Their daughter was born March 2022. At the same year, he was in Padre Pio. In 2023, LaBeouf made his stage debut premiere production of David Mamet's play Henry Johnson, and he is also set to play a lead role in Francis Ford Coppola's drama Megalopolis and star in the thriller Assassination, written by Mamet. But yet again, no one knows how the future of Shia is going to be swinging. Shia LaBeouf is an American actor, filmmaker, and performer, and he already made so many great things throughout his life that he will be already remembered greatly, and we just hope that he will continue to stay on his right path and his positivity and not swingle around and go crazy like we've been looking at him lately. And hopefully he will be creating more things in the future.
James Corden is an English actor, comedian, singer, writer, producer, and former television host. Yes, I said former because he started to develop the worst reputation in Hollywood and he got kicked out of his last gig, and it's all for the best.
I've decided to sign for one more year on the show, and that this will be my last year hosting the Late Late Show. Don't you dare. This will be my last year hosting the show.
Most famously known for co-writing and starring in the critical acclaimed BBC sitcom Gavin and Stacey, and a few years later as the host of the Late Late Show with James Corden, which aired from 2015 to 2023. Throughout this video, we will be looking at how James Corden rose to fame and then fell all the way to the deepest parts of the unknown. Welcome to the Guccino's Bazaar, and I am your host, The Guccino. Before we begin this story,
I would like you to like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more crazy stories just like this one. It will immensely help the channel. Thank you. James Corden has known many successes throughout his career, like a BAFTA television award, and he hosted many shows such as the Tony Awards. He is personating the perfect image of the good guy, but in the recent years, something else came up. Some darkness in James came out of him and showed all of us what kind of character he truly is. But first, we're gonna go a little bit back in the timeline. Corden was born in Hillington, Great London, from a musician father and a social worker mother, and early in his adulthood life he started to act in little roles in television, and he also had many roles as an extra or as a guest appearance, for example in Whatever Happened to Harold Smith. All of these little achievements led him to 2007, where he co-starred his own series on the BBC Three sitcom Gavin and Stacey, which he won 2 awards for in 2008 and 2010, and all of these achievements started to pump Corden's ego and slowly caressed it to become bigger and even bigger. And slowly but surely, he started to grow that persona that everybody started to hate, actually. He started to be rude to everybody, and the more time passes, the more rude he was becoming towards literally everybody. People close to him and people working for him, literally everybody. And through the years, he has been in many small roles that didn't get him the fame he was looking for right away. But all of that gave him the experience in the industry.
Hi, is that Smithy?
Who this?
It's Lenny.
Who?
Lenny Henry?
Do I know you?
Yeah. Lenny Henry from Lenny Henry Live on Unleashed?
Nah.
Chef?
Hey?
Hope and Glory?
Nah, I think you got the wrong number, mate.
I'm the bloke from the Premier Inn adverts.
How are you, mate?
But throughout all of that experience, he learned how to live that life, how to spend it all, how to do it all, how to party all the time, and how to have it all. But to achieve such high standards, Corden was actually stepping on everybody's foot. He was literally living that lifestyle, spending all that money and partying all the time, even with strangers that he didn't know sometimes and that he would just go to party with. He also tried going to many therapy sessions, apparently to help him be less rude, apparently, and it didn't work. It didn't quite work. He was still so rude to his people. It was unbelievable, and he would literally treat them like garbage. Corden even stated that in order for him to succeed, he needed to bully his way all the way to the top, all the way to 2015.
I really couldn't be more honoured to be stood here talking to you now, and believe me, however shocked you are that I am doing this job, you will never be as shocked as I am. But I promise you we're going to have fun on this show, and I promise we're going to do everything we can to put a smile on your face before, or let's be honest, more likely whilst you fall asleep at night.
In March 2015, Corden succeeded Craig Ferguson as the host of the Late Late Show, and everything skyrocketed for him. He used to have many segments and many types of entertainment ideas, and some of his most famous ones are Fill Your Guts or Spell Your Guts, followed with Crosswalk the Musical and the Carpool Karaoke. Corden did numerous editions with Elton John, Stevie Wonder, Mariah Carey, Madonna, Jennifer Lopez, Harry Styles, Katy Perry, and his most notable one with Adele that went super viral on YouTube in 2016. Apple TV also came out and made a streaming series from it called Carpool Karaoke, the series. Another special went viral a bit later called Carpool Karaoke when Corden met McCartney live from Liverpool, and it was an instant hit again that earned him a Primetime Emmy Award nomination, and he won for Outstanding Variety Special. And in those times, Corden, as I said, he was living the best time of his life, doing whatever he wanted to do, because also he felt like he was untouchable in a whole category of his own, which also opened the doors for him to start performing in many more movies and TV shows. But, and there's always a but, his content was never the greatest ever, and it was never greatly received by the audience too. And everybody found his performances a little bit tacky, but nothing is stopping him. His super dimensional ego kept him going all the way to an award ceremony where I will let you see what he was actually about and what he did in that ceremony. And I will let you be the judge of whatever happened.
When the presenters are up here and when the recipients are receiving their awards, don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets, looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir. You couldn't be more wrong. Oh, genuinely. And if it looked like that, I'm so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just get on with it. There we go.
From where I was sitting, I can see your belly. And that was right over there at the back of the room. These people down here, you know.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on. No, seriously, go on.
Okay.
No, go on. You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go for it. Here we go.
Every encounter has to be about him, and if he feels that he's not the center of the conversation and the whole center of whatever is going on, little Gordon gets actually super mad and he starts to throw a tantrum, which kind of sounds like a little baby that starts to cry and scream whenever he wants something. Until he gets it, he will stay in that state. Then in other clips on the internet as well, we can also see that whenever somebody shoves a camera on his face, he's always acting super mad or super angry and super disinterested. Because why? It's not a great feeling to have a whole camera right there in front of your face 24/7. And when you do that, especially in his case, you get to see sometimes his real true face, which is not that cool to see. And with that coming out, he actually went on Reddit and started to ask people some questions. And the answers he got from those questions were pretty terrible. I will let you see what happened. I am not a massive fan of James Corden. Went more to see a TV show being taped, so I can see why some people are disappointed. James doesn't really interact with the audience. In fact, he didn't even wave, acknowledge, or thank us when leaving the studio, which I thought was a bit unnecessary. He is clearly there to get a job done and get out. Atmosphere is generated by the audience and is your sole purpose of being there. If you're not laughing, clapping, and cheering like crazy, that's your mission. You won't be able to hear James over it at times too. Audience who get to sit at the front are clearly picked on dress sense, think going out for dinner look. Was good to see how a show is put together, but if you are a fan of James, don't expect too much. I think if you want to see more interaction from the host, go to Jimmy Fallon or Ellen. And we all know what happened to Ellen too. Hey James, you won't remember me, but me and my friends sat at a table next to you and Harry Styles plus some others in Mancunian Legends in London, Chinatown about 6 years ago. We didn't bother you, but you were a massively entitled cunt who yelled and treated the waitstaff like shit. And when one of my party politely suggested you calm down, you got really aggressive and threatening in a chubby way like a boozy panda. So my question is this: why did Harry seem so cool while you were such a massive throbbing bellend? I mean, the evidence is here, so let's look at it a little bit more in this one. And this one is from Manager's Report number 2. James Corden was at Balthazar with his wife on October 9th for brunch. He asked for a table outside. Walters took the party to table 301. Mr. Corden's wife ordered an egg yolk omelette with Gruyere cheese and salad. A few minutes after they received the food, James called their server MK and told her there was a little bit of egg white mixed with the egg yolk. MK informed the floor manager. Jay, the kitchen, remade the dish, but unfortunately sent it with home fries instead of salad. That's when James Corden began yelling like crazy to the server, "You can't do your job, you can't do do your job, maybe I should go into the kitchen and cook the omelet myself. MK was very apologetic and brought G over to the table. He returned the dish, and after that everything was fine. He gave them promo champagne glasses to smooth things out. Jay said that Gordon was pleasant to him but nasty to the server. MK was very shaken, but professional that she is, continued to finish her shift. And that's how you see that he is an actual douchebag, and specifically in this last post where you actually see Tales from the Cockpit. Half an hour into a New York to London flight, passengers in business class noticed a woman with a crying baby being brought through the curtains by a flight attendant. They looked on in mild horror as they saw the attendant direct her into an empty seat next to James Corden. Corden's cabin mates were impressed to see that he didn't say a word or make any sort of complaint. He simply put on a pair of noise-canceling headphones, pulled an eye mask over his eyes, and turned away from her to sleep. Pretty decent of him, right? When the plane landed, though, passengers were surprised to see Corden remain seated as the woman with the baby struggled to open the overhead locker, and even more surprised when she turned to Gordon and said, "For fuck's sake, can you at least hold the baby while I get the bags down?" The woman was his wife, the baby was his baby, and that is the most shocking of them all, to the point where he doesn't even take care of his own family in a normal matter where, you know, you hold your baby and you take care of your wife. This guy is truly showing his face to the world, and his face does not look good. And we can clearly see that James is always ready to throw any kind of tantrum over any kind of issues, small or big, with family or no family. I mean, it's unbelievable what you find on people when you see that there's a difference in between how they behave themselves in front of the camera and then how they behave themselves not in front of the camera. His movie career is not the brightest at all. In every movie he played as an actor, it's either the movie was bad or he was bad in it, with at some point thousands of people signing a petition for the worst actor ever. Even with the reunion of the show Friends after 15 years, he was apparently going to be the host of it, but the backlash he got from it online was incredible, going all the way to people stating that they are not interested in the show if Gordon is the host.
I'm fine.
The creme de la creme is his beef with Bill Maher, and after Bill gave the mic, metaphorically, to Gordon to actually speak up about obesity and all of those serious questions, Gordon actually took it as an offense and started to attack, started to say real message to the whole world and to a whole generation. He instead gave them a message, always complain. He gave them one of the worst advices ever. And while that could have been one of the best ways to educate a whole new generation, you could say that he was actually one of the personas that actually helps the new generation fail. And from this, everybody saw what kind of personality James Corden was truly. Specifically, since new comments of how he used to fake the carpool karaoke videos popped up. In those videos, just like I said before, he would invite a music superstar and sing in a car while driving. Pretty easy, but even this, and they found a way to mess it up. They used to put a car on a trailer and Corden with his special guest will be pulled in the car. And as soon as everybody found out, it was time for him to get cancelled. After all of these allegations, bad press, bad comments, and hate for James Corden personally, he finally came out in April 2022 and announced that he was leaving the Late Late Show in 2023, so in 1 year.
When I started this journey, it was always going to be just that. It was going to be a journey, an adventure. I never saw it as my final destination, you know, and I never want this show to overstay its welcome in any way. I always want to love making it. And I really think in a year from now, that'll be a good time to move on and see what else might be out there.
He said that he wants to end his career now because he wants to focus on his family and in the well-being of his family. But no one truly believes that. He saw the heat coming his way and he decided to flee the battle before it even started, and it's probably for the better. Bye, Gordon.
Do you think the Aziz story is like you don't have to try to tank a guy's life
Mhm.
from a bad date. It seems like you both ate each other out, went down on each other, and it's like it sounds like it sucked. But then you're anonymous, and then you're 22 or 23. Like this
Mhm.
is like poor judgment.
And here's the thing,
and
I'll-
cruelty. There's a lot of cruelty involved too. Like somebody described it as revenge porn. And that's what it,
for women, yeah, it's our
Yeah.
version of revenge porn.
but it's just like, look, this is not. These are not comparable crimes to like what we've been discussing.
Yo, 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 what up, my beautiful people? How you doing?
How you doing?
How was your week? Pretty rough? Pretty easy? Well, welcome to the Gochino, and I am your host, your uncle, the Gochino, back with another video. And well, whatever you're going through, hopefully that's gonna be all right. And today, we're gonna be looking at how Aziz Ansari went up and then down. So let's go. Aziz is a writer, a filmmaker, and a stand-up comedian. And personally, I was digging his style of comedy before all of that stuff happened. But before that, let's go back a bit. Let's go back to the roots. Let's go back to the origins. Aziz Ansari is born in Columbia, South Carolina, to Indian immigrants from Tamil Nadu. Aziz was born into a Muslim family household, but later on he came out on Twitter saying that he considered himself as a non-religious. Aziz grew up in Bennettsville, South Carolina, where he attended the Marlboro Academy as well as the South Carolina Governor's School for Science and Mathematics. He then graduates from the New York University Stern School of Business in 2004 with a Bachelor of Business degree in marketing. And the only thing I gotta say is respect. He made it out with a business degree.
Yeah, boy.
Respect to the OG. And at the same time, he started performing at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, as well as weekly shows such as an Invite Them Up 2005. Rolling Stone even included Aziz in their hot list as their choice for the hot stand-up, and during the same years in 2006, he also wins the Jury Award for Best Stand-Up at HBO's US Comedy Arts Festival. In between 2006 and 2007, he toured with the Comedians of Comedy, and he also started collaborating with fellow comedians Rob Humble and Paul Scheer to make short films.
Aziz Ansari.
There will be no touching of yourself in this area tonight.
Aziz Ansari, live on stage.
And right after they started working together, they first created a series called Shutterbugs, followed by The Illusionators, MTV greenlit Human Giant for 2 seasons in a row.
I've been working with Zach for about 3 weeks, and I make sure his swagger is at very high levels at all times. All right, Zach, let's layer you some clothes.
Tavon, what do you think about this green hoodie?
No. Take that hoodie off your body. It looks terrible. I call hoodies hoodles. Try that one on.
And at the same time, Aziz had many appearances in many movies such as Get Him to the Greek, I Love You Man, 30 Minutes or Less, Funny People, This Is the End, and Observe and Report. He also creates his own comedy tour called the Slow in the Dark Tour, which became the base to the DVD social for Comedy Central Intimate Moments for a Sensual Evening.
I was walking around recently, and this guy came up to me with a clipboard, and he goes, hey man, do you have a moment for gay rights? And I went, sorry man, I'm in a rush. And then that guy watched me walk into a Jamba Juice. And he was a little upset. He's like, really, man? You don't have a moment for gay rights? You're in a rush to go to Jamba Juice and get a fruit smoothie? I'm out here trying to make a difference. And I went, well, actually, man, there's a guy that works in that Jamba Juice that said some really hateful stuff to a close gay friend of mine. And I'm going in there to stab him.
That's suspicious.
Aziz's style of comedy focuses mainly on his personal experiences and his personal life. And I quote, I like talking about things that are going in my life because that's always going to be different and original. No one is going to be talking about my personal experiences. End of quote. And now, Aziz got offered the role of a lifetime. He gets casted in the NBC's Parks and Recreation that debuted in 2009, with Aziz playing as one of the main characters. Aziz performed for the show for 7 seasons straight and got praised for his performance by many critics, including Entertainment Weekly, TV Guide, and Yahoo TV, which placed him in the #1 spot on its list of TV MVPs. I even watched the show personally for many years, and it's amazing to see him perform in all of that show. The comedy is on point, and the whole story keeps up a sense of comedy which stays epic throughout the whole show. 7 seasons. I totally advise you to go and watch it if you haven't watched it yet. You will laugh at almost every episode, I can promise you that. And by the way, while we're still on the subject, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're almost at the 40K. Counting on you. We can do it! And a bunch of you are watching that are not subscribed. I see you. Aziz appeared on the HBO series Flight of the Conchords, had a recurring role in the animated comedy Bob's Burgers as Errol, and he had a recurring role in one of the most famous sitcom ever, I say Scrubs. And oh boy, I have watched that show for many years. Turk and JD for life.
Come, I don't know about that super tight new greeting. Steak night!
It's not a greeting, Ed.
It is now. Sean. Steak night!
How does he start things so quickly? He's very talented.
May your mushrooms always be sauteed and your onions always be grilled. Gravy, fellas.
Gravy, Ed.
Cream spinach, yo!
No.
And while filming, Aziz is always passionate for comedy, so he created a new tour called Dangerously Delicious in 2010, another called Buried Alive in 2012, and another called Aziz Ansari Live at Madison Square Garden that premiered on Netflix. Little anecdote, Aziz is considered a foodie, with his friends Eric Warheim and Jason Warliner. They formed the Food Club. They would dress up in suits and captain hats and reward restaurants with food clubs. So if they like your restaurant, they could actually give you a gold plate. That's kinda cool. Followed by his big role in Parks and Recreation, Aziz got offered many roles, but he opted for Master of None, which he created and wrote with Parks and Recreation writer Alan Young in 2005.
You don't want to tell me what I love? Allora. I don't even know what it means. Allora. People say it all the time. Allora. Hey, what are you doing? Allora. What does it mean?
Well.
Really?
Yeah, just well.
Cool word.
The show ran for 3 seasons, and it was so liked by the audience that it was nominated for many prizes. And due to the show, Aziz Ansari and Alan Young won an Emmy Award for a comedy series for the episode Parents specifically. And they both also won the Peabody Award in 2016 for the series Master of None. Followed by that, Aziz wins the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a TV comedy for the show, which made him the first Asian American actor to win a Golden Globe for acting in television. But after going so high, it could only go down low. In January 2018, a woman using the name Grace accused Aziz Ansari of sexual misconduct in an article of Babe.net, a website that was aimed at millennial and Gen Z readers. And according to the article, the woman later texted Ansari expressing her discomfort, and he replied with an apology. And guess what happened after that? There was media disagreement in media commentary as to whether the incident described in the Babe article constituted sexual misconduct. Some agreed with Ansari, who stated that the encounter by all indications was completely consensual, while others stated that his actions were misogynistic, lacked affirmative consent, and spoke to a larger culture of harmful male expectations. Others say that Ansari's actions did not constitute sexual misconduct and that his accuser's narrative trivializes the Me Too movement against forms of sexual abuse. And due to all of that, he puts his career on a pause from 2018 to 2019. And so in the whole story, 2 people got together, Aziz and Grace. They both had an experience, and after they had that experience, which was considered as bad, both of them had separate stories to tell. And with the Me Too movement kicking in from one side to the allegations that were said on Aziz, that's it. Everybody got hooked into him and he got sucked into the movement of Me Too with all of those bad people, and that's it.
Craziest thing about that Aziz shit, did you guys read the Aziz story? Yeah. Yo, this motherfucker is wild. This is a wild boy right here, bro. This dude got his dick sucked to Seinfeld.
So literally I consider him as he got literally thrown in the same hole as all of those really bad and really shady people, specifically in the movie industry. So I will leave it up to you to let me know if what happened was wrong or not. And let me know down in the comments below what you think. If what happened to Aziz should have happened or not. If for whatever text messages that happened and bad experience that happened between him and another woman, in that case, should he have gone down just like other people went down throughout all of that movement of the Me Too movement? Overall, I would say that Aziz is many things. He wrote a book called Modern Romance and Investigation that was released in 2015. It was included in the Times 100 list of most influential people in 2016 and hosted an episode of SNL in 2017, becoming the first person of Indian origin to perform and host it. He released his 5th comedy special called Aziz Ansari right now, then 2 more Netflix specials in 2021 and 2022. In June 2022, he gets married to his Danish forensic data scientist Serena Skov Campbell in Tuscany, Italy. And since 2022, he was set to make his feature directorial debut with a film called Being Mortal, but the film was paused due to a complaint of inappropriate behavior by a cast member. His next project, Good Fortune, started filming in 2023 and had some issues too, but now in 2024 all is in order and the project was revealed to have begun filming with Aziz Ansari, Rogan, Reeves, and Keke Palmer. Now, after everything that you just saw, it's your turn to believe in everything that happened or not. So I will leave it to you down in the comments below to let me know if his actions were accounted for or not yet. But it's your turn. Hello and welcome back to the channel. How you doing? Did you know that it's actually very tough to get into the music industry? A mix of talent and good luck at the same time, and that will get a young talent all the way up to the stardom. And in most cases, once that celebrity status is achieved, the only limit at that time is your creativity and imagination. And today we're going to be looking at an artist that was loved by the most. Today we're talking about SoundCloud rap, and most precisely one of the SoundCloud kings I call Lil Pump. Lil Pump, formerly known as Gazi Garcia, is an American rapper born in August 2000, famously known for his 2017 single called Gucci Gang, which peaked at a number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Since that era, Lil Pump has known many ups and downs, and today we're going to be looking at the rise and fall of Lil Pump. And before we dive into this immense pool of music, welcome to the channel. I am your host, The Guccino, and I post 2 videos every week. Don't forget to like and subscribe when you're done watching the video, and here we go. Lil Pump is born and raised in Miami, Florida in August 2000. By the age of 6 years old, his parents divorced, which forced the young rapper to live in separate houses with separate complete lives. Growing up, Lil Pump discovered that he had dyslexia, which means that he had difficulties reading, but that did not stop the young artist. When Pump was 13 years old, his cousin Lil Ominous introduced him to Omar Pinero, aka Smoke Perp, and after many shenanigans they end up being expelled from their schools. That led Lil Pump to enroll in an opportunity high school, but he got expelled in the 10th grade for fighting and inciting a riot. Damn. And from here we can already start to understand the persona and the character of Lil Pump, being a rebel and shit. In 2016, Smoke Perp produced a song and he asked Lil Pump to actually perform on it and freestyle on the music, which he did. And that first music was called Lil Pump, of course. And from that point on, he absolutely loved the hype. He loves making music and getting some recognition out of it actually. He comes up with singles called Elementary, Ignorant, Gang Shit, and Drumstick. And each of these singles generated more than 3 million streams each on SoundCloud. And slowly but surely, he starts to make a name for himself in the underground SoundCloud rap of South Florida, followed with headlines on the No Jumper Tour in 2016, and he also performed at the Rollin' Loud Festival that same year. Pretty busy, but that was only the beginning of Lil Pump's career, where he used to side with a bunch of other well-known artists such as the late XXXTentacion, Ski Mask the Slum God, and Fat Nick. In 2017, Pump releases new singles called DJ Rose and Boss. The two combined made more than 70 million streams. DJ Rose specifically got a music video produced by director Cole Bennett, aka Lyrical Lemonade, and June 2017, Lil Pump signs a record deal with The Lights Global and Warner Records, only 2 months before his 17-year-old birthday. I remember playing video games at the age of 17 years old, while others are making actually record deals. Crazy, but what a world. But don't get too excited about this contract, because we'll see throughout this video what happened with this contract later. But right after that moment, everybody knows what happened. Everybody saw what happened. This song called Gucci Gang became literally his most famous song out to this day. It became his first Billboard Hot 100 entry, peaking at number 3 on November 2017. The song got certified gold and platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America on January 2018, then triple platinum on July 2018. And right after that tremendous success, he actually decided to release his first studio album, which he called, I'll let you guess, Lil Pump. And he featured many artists such as Smoke Perp, Gucci Mane, Lil Yachty, Rick Ross, and many more. And right at that time, many speculations and rumors went round saying that his record deal had actually dropped Lil Pump from his deal, all under the pretext that he was actually a minor when he signed the papers in the beginning. And following these rumors, even crazier things happened. On February 2018, Garcia was arrested for discharging a weapon in an inhabited place. According to his manager, 3 men attempted to break into his home in San Fernando Valley at around 4 p.m. before shooting into the door. Police found the bullet may have come from inside the home, coming back later with a search warrant before finding an unloaded handgun below the balcony with ammunition elsewhere in the residence. At that point, Garcia's mother was substantially investigated for endangering a minor and having an unsecured firearm at the home. Ooh, and he also got dissed by J. Cole with a song called 1985, where in a way, he absolutely predicted everything that was going to happen to Lil Pump. And in a way, predicts the downfall of him. March 2018 at least, he was able to re-sign a new contract with the same record company that he already had, the Warner Records. And this time he actually signed for $12 million. And now that everything is legit and correct, now we can start on the full rise of Mr. Lil Pump. And I hope you're ready for this one, because from now on, it's gonna be a sprint. Lil Pump was releasing song after song after song after song. Let's go. He releases Skid It in April 2018, which peaked at number 24, followed with another single called Drug Addicts in July, which featured Charlie Sheen. Oh boy, another one. I have to make another video on him. I hope you guys are ready for the coming of the rise and fall of Charlie Sheen, because it's coming on the channel. Stay tuned. But in general, in all of this, it feels like drama is always following Lil Pump. Whenever he has a little bit of success, he will have a little bit of drama going on at the same time. Like on August 29, 2018, Lil Pump got arrested for driving without a license in Miami. Then his manager told Billboard that the rapper had served a prison sentence but did not give any further details. September of that same year, he collaborated with Kanye West and Adele they gave us a song called I Love It, and this song got him straight up to the top 1 spot in the Canadian Top 100. And another one. October of that same year still, he released Multimillionaire featuring Lil Uzi Vert, along with another one. Another track with dubstep producer Skrillex called Arms Around You. That was a list. But after all of that success, his empire starts to crumble little by little. December 2018, he gets arrested by Danish police after a performance in Copenhagen for possessing some very illegal stuff. And from there, he got fined up to $800. He later live streamed himself flipping his middle finger at a police officer while being detained. He was substantially banned from entering the country for 2 years. Damn, that boy is reckless. And at the end again of 2018, because we're still not done with that year, he actually gave his fans a sneak peek of his next project, which was called Butterfly Doors. And immediately after that, he got accused of being racist, especially towards Asian people, because in that music you had a lot of stereotypes and profanities directly going towards Asian people, and this generally caused a massive negative output and caused many Chinese rappers to start actually diss tracking Lil Pump right here. In a way, created more business out of it too. But right after he saw what he actually did, he came up with an apology video, and at the time of the release of his song, he actually edited out all of the negative or very stereotype kind of words from the music. And at that point, do you think he got off that easily? Not yet. On December 2018, he gets arrested at a Miami airport for disorderly conduct, and he was about to take off on a flight. Security wanted to search his luggage, but he insisted that he didn't have anything specific in his luggage. While no drugs were found during the encounter with the police, he actually became super angry and he became arguing loudly with the security employees, and that got him to go into custody. And on February 2019, finally we passed the year of 2018. He releases a featured song with Lil Wayne called Be Like Me, which he got to perform on Jimmy Kimmel Live. And after that, he releases his studio album called Harvard Dropout, featuring many other well-known artists such as Kanye West, Lil Wayne, Offset, Quavo, Smoke Perp, Lil Uzi Vert, 2 Chainz, and YG. And from all of that success, Forbes actually decides to make him one of the 30 under 30, which is a lot of accomplishments for a young artist, especially in the span of 3 years, you know? In a way, you can clearly say that Lil Pump has a lot of talent to give, but for how long can this persona still exist? In February 2020, Lil Pump states on Instagram that he is done making music, only to come back a little bit of time afterward and say that he's not actually quitting. Kinda childish, you know? But then trouble hits when in 2020 he decided to actually endorse President Trump. He made a post wearing a MAGA hat, plus he got brought to one of President Trump's rallies to speak for President Trump. And that moment was absolutely super funny, because that moment absolutely disrespected all of Lil Pump's career, because at that point when he was about to go on stage, his name was Little Pimp.
One of the big superstars of the world, Little Pimp. There he is.
And by the way, while he was doing that, I'll let you on a little secret. He wasn't even registered as a voter at that point. That's kind of sus. And in that period of time, do you also remember what was going on around the world? Something very terrible. A sickness that we can't talk about on YouTube specifically. Well, about that. Basically, in 2020, Lil Pump gets banned from JetBlue after refusing to wear a mask on a flight from Fort Lauderdale to Los Angeles. And followed by that, guess what he does? He releases more SoundCloud exclusives called Lil Pimp, Big Mama Steppin', and I Mona, which were very politically related, if you know what I'm saying. And after that little venture, he decides to go on another venture, and that venture is called NFTs, where he decides to include digital jewelry and trading cards. Funky, but okay. His last redemption, his last trending song, is a feature with Tory Lanez on August 2021. That barely made it to the million streams, followed by the release of a new album titled No Name, and since nothing was mentioned on his social media and no promo was done, it eventually led to a commercial failure. And later that same year, the IRS came for his ass and were asking for $1.6 million of unpaid taxes on his house in Miami. And following all of these failures, on 2023, he still releases a new studio album called Lil Pump II, and that one actually on social media had a lot of promo going on, but at the same time, people were not interested anymore because I guess that the SoundCloud era is starting to go. Lil Pump, in a way, is trying to get his career back through many opportunities, but every opportunity he gets, he will waste. Why? Because the shadowy aura is always following his success, and whenever he has a little bit of success, he feels like he needs to destroy himself a little bit. Like the moment he was making jokes about mental issues or fighting against J. Cole, or at least trying, you know. That SoundCloud era was very fun and amusing to be a part of. But after a while, it's time to turn the page, and it feels like people already turned the page, and the only person who's still stuck in it is Lil Pump. Today, we can actually see him on many live streams on Kick, specifically. On the streams on Vitalik, going and pursuing very weird offenders in a way, and their goal is to actually ridicule them the best way they know how.
Yeah, run it up,
You're
bro.
such a fucking hoe. When the first time I asked you on sparking or still? I'm a sick fuck. I like the quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck. I'm a sick fuck. I like the quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck. You're a sick fuck, huh?
Not the kind of promo you would have thought of, but hey, if that's working for him and if that can get him actually some kind of recognition in a way, hey, who am I to judge? This was the rise and fall of Lil Pimp. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories. Bye bye.